So first things first, how are you guys?
Good.
Good, yeah.
Great. Thank you for having us.
No worries. It's very good to hear that everything's going well. So let's jump straight into it because, well, your album Embrace is out now. What has it been like going through this process in such a crazy time in the world?
It was very weird because we at first the album should have been released on in June.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like on the 5th or the 6th of June. But we had to postpone it, and it was very weird not to be sure about the release date of the album. Like, we've been, I think we ended the recording of the album a year and a quarter ago, and it was like we really wanted to have it out, but having to wait for it to be released that long, and then after even longer. It was
Sure.
pretty weird.
Well, let's first. You mentioned something interesting because the album has been done for a year and a bit, and I believe it was around that time that Charles left the band. So how did that affect? Was the album already done by that point, pretty much?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
Okay.
it was just recorded.
Okay.
And we needed
Just.
we still had to record like some synths.
Okay.
So basically, in the time we were supposed to record the synths, we tried to fit Louis' vocal in that time. So well done, Louis.
Well, because I don't want to talk about the past too much, but how did that kind of affect the band moving forward to where you are now? How did that kind of, in terms of the roles and what everybody does in the band?
I think when Charles was in the band, it was more a band with like a leader and then, us three behind him type of situation. And then when he left, we really said to each other that we didn't want to reproduce that pattern again. So we wanted to be really all three of us at the forefront without any leader. And so that's the biggest change, I think, with his departure.
I think it's also like the main line of the album, Embrace, and even the artwork of the album. It's about the three of us just getting back together and like being a team with no leader.
Well, when when did the title then pop into your heads? Was that early on in the process?
Actually, just like I think like right after Charles left, we started to dig into it, and before we had other ideas, but we were not like really fond of it. Can you say that?
Sure.
And then he left, and we just like brainstormed again, and Embrace came up, and we were like, wow, that's
And in terms of, let's go into the music a little bit because, I've read many interviews where you talk about all of your influences and kind of musical, what are you into? But when you compile an album like this and you want to create a body of work, what are you looking for in terms of the sound and kind of how you want it to feel?
I don't know if there's any premeditation.
Okay.
Like when we do music, it's just when a sound goes well with another sound, we choose it, and sometimes we try to think about what would be the best thing. But I think the best way to do good music is to work on the go, like not to overthink it.
Sure.
Really, just to do it.
And in that sense, is this, when you look back at these songs, is that kind of like a snapshot then of where the band was about 2 years ago, when or whenever these songs were written?
Yeah, I think so. And it's funny because we wrote the album really quick, actually, because we were in the French countryside for a month, and we pretty much wrote I think 80% of the album there.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it's really, the sound of the album is really what we were doing at the precise time during this month in the countryside. So, yeah.
Do you remember was there a moment maybe where everything started to click, where you think, okay, now we kind of have a sense of where this album is going? Or like you say, was it till the end kind of, we don't know yet and we'll see what happens?
I remember, I think it was more a moment where we realized that it was going to work more than a moment where we thought that the album was current. Like, I think it was when we were in the French countryside. I'd say that maybe the first week wasn't very easy, and I don't think we produced many good stuff. But
I see.
maybe from the second week we started to do great things, and I think for me that's the moment where where I thought that the album was coming in a way.
This album is the first kind of body of work, a collection of songs that you're putting out. So first off, how important is that? And because I would assume it's quite important, did it bring nerves with it or pressure or of any kind?
I don't think so, because we were like, we knew we wanted to make an album, but I don't remember pressuring ourselves that much. But
I think we really had fun, really.
Yeah.
Like, and I think, I didn't feel any pressure during during any step of the album.
Except maybe a bit when we were in the studio, because it was a really short time in the studio. So we had to record all the drums and everything. And it was maybe that bit of pressure, but
okay. But in general,
I don't remember
being
too pressured.
Because you're a cool guy. You're not too pressured.
No, but I think they were. If there was pressure, it was more about the guitar part that I have to record right now, more than the whole thing.
Okay. Well, but for instance, Louis, for you, you had to do all those vocal takes all of a sudden. So what's that? How did you what was that like for you?
It was pretty hard because some songs were written and recorded for Charles' note range or tone range. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like we don't have the same vocal range, and so it was I had to sing songs. Sorry. Yeah, maybe I could have sung some songs better had they been in my vocal range. But I think I pretty liked it, singing those songs, like take the responsibility in a way.
When it comes to certain songs, then does everybody kind of know what the song is about? Do you kind of talk about the themes and the stories in the songs, or is it very personal to the one who writes it then?
I think we're pretty open. What do you think, Joseph and Gabriel?
Personally,
the connection.
Personally, I have a really hard time focusing on the meaning of the song.
Okay.
At first. Like I always like when I hear music, I always focus more like first on the music side and then on the lyrics. And so sometimes even with Kid and Singing, like I really understand the meaning of a song later in the process. But that's just like my way of listening to music. But
well, that's an interesting thought then, because I would imagine that happens a lot when you start playing songs live and you kind of figure out, oh, this is what it's about. But now that it's gone, kind of the live playing. So what is that like? And sitting with these songs without playing them live, has that been difficult?
Yes.
Yeah,
because I think it's the first time we have that many songs very good for live. We like even if we were called Keep Dancing Inc. I'd say that most of our former songs, like most of our EPs, were not very dancey. But I think the album is more. Yeah, it's very difficult not to be able to play them live and see people react to it and dance to it.
Have you had the chance, because like you said, these songs have been done for a while. Have you been able to play any of these songs in previous years?
Yes, yes, because
Long enough.
yes, long enough
Okay.
is maybe the oldest song on the album.
Well, let's talk about Long Enough then, because I was talking about the themes and subject matter of these songs. For instance, with Long Enough, where you kind of talk about how young people see the world and experience the world. Where did that come from, that idea?
Well, it came from my relationship with my parents.
Okay.
Like they really wanted me to continue my studies. I think they were quite right about it in a way. Even like I really wanted just to do music and that's it. But yeah, it comes from that frustration, I'd say, and not feeling not feeling supported. Like actually, like they really supported me, but sometimes I didn't feel I didn't feel enough support from them, I say.
Right. And in general, for all three of you, is it kind of when all three of you decided, well, I want to pursue music, this is what I want to do. Was it a similar thing where people around you kind of looked at you, well, that's not a real job? That's because I hear that a lot from artists.
Not that.
I think
I haven't really.
I think we are all three. We have a privilege because we live in Paris, and we come from wealthy families, and so we had a support from the beginning. I think so. It's a real privilege from
Right.
like compared to some other bands. So yeah.
I read that the song "No Milkshakes in Hell" was partly inspired by the music of John Carpenter, and I really enjoy his work as well. So what was it about kind of that feel of his music that inspired you?
Actually, it's more the lyrics.
Okay.
That were inspired by Carpenter. I said, like when I wrote the lyrics, I was pretty into old horror movies like Dario Argento or Carpenter. But musically wise, I said that it's more Devo. The band Devo, yeah. Like the demo of the song on my computer was called Devo-esque.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, we wanted to have a more punk and even post-punk song in the album, and we thought that this one could be the best. And it's a fun song also, which it's maybe like the only funny song in the album. Yeah, it's not serious at all. Like I think the whole album is pretty serious, but I think we did well to add this funny song.
Well, that's interesting that you say that, because even though you say the album is very serious, it is obviously very danceable, and the music is quite upbeat, I would say. So how come the album turned out to be quite serious?
Because I think we're pretty serious people.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Or maybe it's I don't know. Maybe we just naturally write serious songs.
But is that the balance then, to on the one hand have a song that's fun and people can dance to, but at the same time you want to say something, or you want to kind of...
Yeah, I think there's maybe a legitimacy complex. Like we want to, we want to say something. Like we don't want to be just we don't want to say just bullshit or...
Sure.
We do on Milkshakes, but I think it's balanced with the other songs.
Now that the album is out then, what has the reaction been like, and how do you look forward now in terms of what's next? Because obviously playing live won't be possible for a while, I think.
Well, writing the second album.
So I mean, have you? How far are you then? Because like you say, this batch of songs was done over a year ago. So do you have a whole batch of songs ready?
We have some demos, and we're gonna write some more like in the beginning of next year, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, just we already like are on in our mind and on the way of like making the second album. I think we're just gonna take the opportunity of the world right now to do so.
Last question now. What can you tell me about these new songs? How do they how has the sound developed, or where is your mindset now in terms of these songs?
It's pretty how can I say, like none of these songs like really resemble each other, so it's really going in all directions right now. Okay. We have like very electronic demos and very rock demos, and so right now it doesn't feel like we have a red line, you know. But we'll see. Maybe middle of next year, maybe we have a consistency between the songs, but not at the moment.
But I think we're just really letting ourselves like explore anything, and we're gonna be like more, I don't want to say this, but like more maybe experiment more, because now we have the first album and it's clean in a way. And I guess we will be like less scared to explore. Yeah.
Right. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what you come up with then. Thank you so much for taking the time and talk with me, and I hope you have a great day.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.